Random, yes I know, but it's me, so we gonna let it flow. How y'all doing? It's your boy Charblu. I hope your David well, you feel it well. Listen. I woke up this morning, I turned on my PSP. Right. Oh, it's so fire. I love it. I actually love it. I just jailbroke this. Point is, was playing the PSP, and then I realized, bro, what is the history of our world? I told myself, well, I was there. You know what I'm saying? When God said, let there be light, Adam was like, whoa, this is crazy. The point I'm trying to make is that I'm not Tribe Louie today. Today, I'm Curious Louie. On me. And we are going to watch the history of the entire world, I guess. All right, talk to me.
Hi, you're on a rock, floating in space. Pretty cool, huh? Some of it's water.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Actually, most of it's water. I can't even get from here to there without buying a boat. It's sad. I'm sad. I miss you.
How did this happen?
A long time ago, actually never, and also now, nothing is nowhere. When? Never. Makes sense, right? Like I said, it didn't happen. Nothing was never anywhere. That's why it's been everywhere. It's been so everywhere you don't need a way.
What?
A boat. It's sad. I'm sad. I miss you.
How did this happen?
A long time ago, actually never, and also now, nothing is nowhere. When? Never. Makes sense, right? Like I said, it didn't happen. Nothing was never anywhere. That's why it's been everywhere. It's been so everywhere you don't need a where. You don't even need a when. That's how every it gets.
I'm laughing, but I'm also like deeply disturbed. I'm not too sure what he just said.
Get this. I want to be something. Go somewhere. Do something. I want things to change. I want to invent time and space. And I know it's possible because everything is here and it probably already happened. I just don't know when to start. And that's exactly where it started. Oh, I paused it. I think there's a universe now. What's it made of?
Quarks and stuff.
Ah, that's a thing. In a place. Don't like it? Try a new place. At a different time. Try to stick together because the world is going to get bigger and emptier. But it's not empty yet. It's still very full and about 1 jillion degrees. Great news. The quarks are now happily married in groups of 3 called a proton or a neutron. And there's something else flying around too that wants to join in but can't because it's still too... Great news. The protons and neutrons are now happily married to each other. Some of them even doubled up.
Whoa.
Great news. The electrons have now joined in. Congratulations. The world is now a bunch of gas in space. But it's getting closer together. And it's getting closer together. And it's getting closer together.
It's a star.
New shit just got made. Some stars burn out and die. Bigger stars burn out and die with passion and make some brand new, way crazier shit.
Space dust.
Which allows newer, more interesting stars to be made and then die and explode.
Even crazier space dust.
So now stars have cool stuff around them, like rocks, ice, and funny clouds, which can make some very interesting things.
That's fine.
Like this ball of flaming rocks, for example. Holy shit, we just got hit with another ball of flaming rocks. And it kind of made a mess, which is now... Weather update, it's raining rocks from outer space. Weather update, those rocks might have had water inside them and now there's hot steam in the sky. Weather update, cooler temperatures today and the floor is no longer lava. Weather update, it's raining. Severe flooding alert, the entire world is now an ocean. Volcano alert.
That's land.
There's life in the ocean. What?
Something's alive in the ocean.
Oh cool, like a plant or an animal? No, a microscopic speck. It lives at the bottom of the ocean and eats chemical soup, which is being served hot and fresh, made from gnarly space ingredients left over from when it was raining rocks or whatever. Oh yeah, and it can do that. It has secret instructions written inside itself telling it how to build another one of itself. So that's pretty nifty, I would say. Tired of living at the bottom of the ocean?
Now you can eat sunlight.
Using a revolutionary technique, you can convert sunlight into food.
Taste the sun.
Side effect, now there's oxygen everywhere and the
tastes
sky's blue.
good.
Then the earth might have been a snowball for a while, maybe even a couple of times. It's a sponge, it's a plant,
Maybe
it's a
even a
worm, and
couple
some
of
other
times.
types of weird, strange water bugs and strange fish.
It's the Cambrian explosion.
The
Wow, that's
Cambrian?
animals and stuff. But we're still in the ocean.
Yo,
Hey,
these
can we go
little
on land?
jingles is hitting.
Why? The sun is a deadly laser. Okay.
Really?
Not anymore, there's a blanket.
Now the animals can go on land. Come on, animals, let's go on land. Nope, can't walk yet.
Oh.
And there's no food yet, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, will you
Yeah,
learn to
that
walk?
makes
There's plants up
sense.
here? Maybe, said some bugs. And fish.
But you can't walk, bruh.
Okay, so I can go on land, but I have to go back in the water to have
Babies.
learn to use an egg.
I was already doing that.
Use a stronger egg. Put water in it. Have a baby on land in an egg. Water is in the egg. Baby in the egg, in the water, in the egg. Works for me.
Bye bye ocean.
And
Okay.
now everything's huge, including bugs. Want to see a map of the land? Sure. Oh fuck, now everything's dead. Just
What?
kidding, here are the survivors. Keep your eye on this one because it's about to become the dinosaurs. Here's another map of the land. Yeah, it broke apart, don't worry about it, it does that all the time. Here comes a meteor.
And the dinosaurs are gone.
be the
mammal time. Here come
dinosaurs.
the
Them niggas
mammals.
was
Look at those
hard.
breasts. Now they're gonna dominate the world. And one of
Nipples.
them just learned how to grab stuff.
It's a
and
monkey.
Walk. No, like walk like that and grab
Oh,
stuff at the
shit.
same time.
It's
And
me.
bang rocks together to make pointed rocks. Ouch. And set things on fire. Youch. And make crazy sounds with their voice. Knirsch, which can mean different things.
Human person.
And now they're everywhere.
That's a human
Almost.
Ice Age.
What? You can walk over here? Cool.
Not anymore.
Well, I guess we're stuck here now. Let's review. There's people on the planet. And they're
Yeah.
chasing their food. Fuck it. Time to plant some grass. Look at this. I control the food now. Now everyone will want to be my friend and live near me. Let's all build houses, except mine is bigger because I own the food. This is great. I wonder if anyone else is doing this. Tired of using rocks for everything? Use metal. It's underground. Better farming was just invented in a sweet dank valley right in between these two rivers, and the animals are helping.
Guess what happens next?
More
What?
food and more people who came to buy the food. Now you need people to help make the food and keep track of the sales. And now you need houses for people to live in and people to make the houses. And now there's more people and they invent things, which makes things better. And more people come and there's more farming and more people to make more things for more people. And now there's business, money, writing, laws, power. Coming soon to a dank river valley near you. Meanwhile, out in the middle of nowhere, the horse is probably being tamed. Why is all my metal so lame and lumpy?
I know a
Tired
horse
of using
named
lame,
Joe.
sad metal? Introducing bronze, made with special ingredient tin from the far lands of Tinland. I don't know, my dealer won't tell me where he gets it. Also, guess what? Meanwhile, out in the middle of nowhere, they figured
like
out how to
Egypt.
put wheels on a horse. Now we're getting somewhere. Also,
shit.
did I mention?
Valley civilization.
What? Industry.
The Middle East is getting more complicated. Maybe because it's in the middle of
Bruh,
the
if I
East.
blink,
Knock, knock,
I'm
or
missing a
clop,
whole
clop.
time
It's
period,
the people
like-
with the horses,
and now-
they made an empire, and then everyone else copied their horses.
Greeks.
Ah, look, it must be the Greeks, or
The
a beta
Greeks.
version of the Greeks.
I love
Let's
the
check in with
Greeks.
the Indus River Valley civilization.
Who's
They're
your
gone.
favorite
Guess
Greek
who's not
god?
gone?
China. New arrivals in
Mine is
India.
Poseidon.
Maybe it's
New-
those horse people I was talking about.
Oh, them horse
Cousins
folks.
Or something.
Centaurs.
And they wrote some hymns and mantras and stuff.
I
You
like
can make
hymns.
a religion out of this. There's
Hinduism.
the Bronze Age collapse.
Now
Oh,
the Phoenicians can get down to business.
Also, can we switch to a metal that's a little easier to find? Thanks. Look who came back to Israel. It's the 12 tribes of Israel.
And they believe in God.
Just one, though. He's got like a 10-step program. Here's some huge heads. Must be the Olmecs. The Phoenicians make some colonies. The Greeks copy their idea and make some colonies. The Phoenicians made a colony so big it makes colonies. Here comes the Assyrian Empire. Never mind, it's the Babylonian Median.
It's the Persian Empire.
Wow, that's big. Ah, the Buddha was just enlightened. Who's the Buddha? This guy who sat under a tree for so long that he figured out how to ignore the fact that we're all dying. You can make a religion out of this. Oops, China just broke, but while it was breaking, Confucius was figuring out how to have good morals. Ah, the Greeks just had the idea of thinking about stuff. And right over here, Alexander just had the idea of conquering the entire Persian Empire. It's a great idea. He was great. And now he's dead. Hopefully the rest of the gang will
wasn't
be
he,
able to
like-
share
like
the empire
low-key
evenly between
massively
them. Knock, knock,
successful?
it's Chandragupta. He says, get the hell out of here. Will you get the hell out of here if I give you 500 elephants? Okay, thanks, bye.
Time to conquer all of India.
He conquered
Most
all of
of India.
most of it.
But what about this part? That's the Tamil Kings. No one conquers the Tamil Kings. Who are the Tamil Kings?
Merchants
Yeah.
probably. And they've got spices.
Who would like to buy the spices? Me, said the Arabians, swiftly buying it and selling it to the rest of the world. Hey, China put itself back together again, with good morals as their main philosophy.
Confucius.
Actually, they have 3 main philosophies. Out here, the horse
Obey the
nomads
law.
run wild and free, and they would like to
Jawa.
ransack your city.
Yo, I love horses. They be
Let's check the
like,
Greekification levels of the Greekified
Yes.
kingdoms. Greekification overload. Bye, said the Parthians. Bye, said the Jews. Hi, said the Parthians, taking over the entire place. Hey, said the Romans, eating the entire Mediterranean for breakfast. Thanks for invading our homeland, said the Jews, who were starting to get tired of people invading their homeland. Hi, everything's great, said some guy who seems to be getting very
Jesus.
popular and is then arrested and killed for being too popular, which only makes him more popular. You can make a religion out of this. Want silk? Now you can buy it from China. They just made a
Brand new road to the world.
this was all happening when Jesus was around,
To
bro.
get their own water.
sick new trade
No.
routes, said
No,
India,
it
accidentally
wasn't.
spreading the
Jesus
religion
was
to the
there
entire
for a
Southeast.
couple
That's a good
years.
place for
What
an
am I
epic trading
talking?
kingdom. There goes Buddhism traveling up the Silk Road. I wonder if it'll reach China before it collapses again. Remember the Persian Empire? Yep, said the Persians, making a new one. Axum is getting so powerful they would like to build a long stick. Has anyone populated Madagascar yet? Let's do it together.
China's home again.
Nice. The Jin Dynasty. Oh,
Still
man.
can't cross the Sahara Desert?
My boss
Try
got a
camels,
dynasty?
Hell yeah,
That's
now we
hard.
got
I do that.
business.
said the Ghana Empire, selling lots of gold and slaves. Hi, I live in the Roman Empire, and I was wondering...
Is loving Jesus legal yet?
No. Actually, okay, sure, said Constantine, moving the capital way over here to be closer to his main
Rival.
Don't worry about Rome, it won't fall.
It's the golden
It
age
put
of
it. The
There's the
golden
Gupta
age of.
Empire, not Chandragupta, just Gupta. First name Chandra. The first. Guess who's in Rome?
Barbarians.
It's a barbarian. Non-Romans, said the Romans, being invaded by non-Romans. R.I.P. Roman Empire. Or actually just half of it. The other half is just fine. But it's not in Rome anymore, so let's give it a new name.
The Byzantine.
Figured out the stars.
Oh, and here's a huge city. Population everyone. The Goat Turks have taken over the entire Eurasian steppe. Great job, Goat Turks. How's
What is
India?
a Goat
Logan?
Turk?
How's China?
Back together.
How's those trading kingdoms?
Bigger and there's more of them.
Korea has 3 kingdoms. Japan has a kingdom. It's the Sunrise Kingdom.
Yamato.
Deep in the
Intermission.
Arabian desert, on the top of a mountain, the real God whispers in Muhammad's ear. So he goes down to the cube where everyone worships gods, and he tells them their gods are all fake. And everyone got so mad at him that he had to leave town and go to a different town. You can make a religion out of
Why
this,
is
and
that
maybe
on
conquer the
fire?
world as well. The Roman Empire is long gone, but somehow the Pope is still the Pope. Plus there's...
New kingdoms all over Europe.
I wonder if there's room for Moors. Here's all the wisdom.
Moors?
In a house. It's the Baghdad House of Wisdom. Just in time for the
Islamic golden age.
Let's bring stuff to the coast and sell it and become the Swahili on the Swahili coast, said the Swahili on the Swahili coast. Remember this tiny space you have to go through to get from here to there? Someone owns that now. Want to get enlightened in the middle of nowhere? The Franks have the biggest kingdom in Europe, and the Pope is so proud that he invites the king over for Christmas. Surprise, you're the new Roman emperor, said the Pope, pretending to still be part of the Roman Empire. Then the Franks broke their kingdom into what will later be called France and not France. The Northerners, or just Norse if you don't have much time, are exploring. They go north, from the north to the northern north, and they find some land, 2 types of land, and they name them accordingly. They also invade some other places and get
what's up
called
with
many
that?
names,
Like-
such as Vikings. There's the Rus, the Kievan Rus. Are they Vikings? I don't think so, said the Kievan Rus. Okay, fair enough. The Pope is ready to make some more emperors of the Roman Empire, the Holy Roman
I don't
Empire.
think so.
It's actually Germany, but don't worry about it. New kingdoms.
Here's all the kingdoms.
Which brand would you like? Mine's better. Mine's better. Mine's better. Time to conquer England, said William. It's a bird. It's a plane.
It's the Seljuk Turks.
Said the Byzantine Empire, who's getting so small it almost doesn't exist anymore. We need help. They need help, so they call the Pope. Hey, Pope, can you help us get rid of the Seljuks? Maybe take back the Holy Land on the way? Come on, I know you want to take back the Holy Land. Yes, I do actually want to do that. Let's do a crusade.
Crusade.
They did many crusades, some of which almost didn't fail, but at least the Italians got some sweet trade deals. Goodbye,
They all
lands.
fail.
Hello, Toltecs.
Goodbye, Toltecs.
Hello, Mississippi.
Look at those mounds. There's the
Mississippi?
Pueblo. I always wondered how to build a town in a cliff. Guess who's here? Come here. Where? Here.
Where?
And Pagan is there. Vietnam unconquered itself, Korea just became itself, and Japan is so addicted to art that the military might have to take over the government. China just invented bombs and typing. And the Mongols just invaded most of the universe. Nice going, Genghis. I bet that will last a long time. Some of the Islamic Turks were unaffected by the Mongol invasions because they were busy invading India.
Yo, didn't Genghis
Is it
Khan
Tonga
like
time?
kill
I think
mad
it's Tonga
folks?
time.
Tonga? I like.
I just found out where the Swahili
Do
gets
I?
all their
I
gold.
don't know.
Look at
What
this
is it,
Chad.
Tonga?
Means lake. There's an
I
empire
like the
there.
way it
Right in the
sounds.
middle of
Tonga.
The king of Mali is so rich he's going on tour to let everyone know. Wow, that guy's rich, everyone said. The Christians are doing a great job reconquering Iberia, which will soon be called Spain and not Spain. Please remain Christian. We will check in later to see if you're still Christian when you least expect. Whoops, half of Europe just died.
Spanish Inquisition.
China's back, yay! Hey, come here, time to share. New kingdoms here and there. Oh, look who controls all the islands. It's the Mahajapit. Majapahit. Mapajahit. Mahapajit. Mapajahit. Majapahit. Oh, Italy's really rich. Time for them to
Majapahit?
care a lot about art and the ancient classics. It's kind
I
of like
said
a
it.
rebirth.
I said it right.
Here's a printer. Let's make books.
Renaissance.
So you think you can conquer the Byzantine Empire? Yep, said the Ottoman Turks.
Isn't it really
nice job,
small?
Ottoman Turks. Oops, you missed a spot. Don't forget to ban Europe from the Indian spice
that
trade.
nigga's
What?
too-
That's bullshit, said Portugal. Spiceless.
Well, I guess we'll have to find another way.
Damn, where they going? They
Wait,
going
said Christopher Columbus, probably smoking crack. If the world is round, let's go this way to India. No, don't worry, we already got this, said Portugal. So Chris goes to Spain. Hey, Spain, want to hire me to find India by going around back of the world? No, please, no, please, no, please. Okay. So he sails into the ocean and discovers more ocean, and then discovers the Indies and Japan. Let's draw a line to decide who gets which half of the world. The Aztec and Inca empires are off to a great start. I wonder if they know that Europe just discovered their continent. The Habsburgs are marrying into so many royal families they might have to start marrying each other. Move over, Lithuania. Here comes Moscow. Ivan wants to make Russia great
Russia!
again. Move over, Timurids. Maybe go invade India or something. Persia just made Persia Persian again. Let's make it the other kind of Islam. The one where we thought the first guy should have been the other guy. Hey Christians, do you sin? Now you can buy your way out of hell. That's bullshit. This whole thing is bullshit. That's a scam. Fuck the church. Here's 95 Reasons Why, said Martin Luther in his new book, which might have accidentally started the Protestant Reformation. You know what would be
Whoa.
magnificent, said Suleiman wearing an onion hat? What if the Ottoman Empire was really big?
That's
Which it is now.
definitely
What if
an
Russia
onion
was
hat.
big, said Ivan, trying not to be terrible. Portugal had a dream that they controlled the entire Indian Ocean, including the spice trade. And then that dream was real. And Spain realized that this is not India, but they pillaged it anyway. Damn, said England and France. We gotta start pillaging some stuff.
Oh,
then the Dutch
God.
revolt and all the
That's just
hipsters moved to
crazy.
Amsterdam. Damn, said Amsterdam. We gotta start pillaging some stuff. Question 1, can you get to India through North America? No, but at least there's beaver. Question 2, steal the spice trade. That's not a question, but the Dutch did it anyway.
I was about to say, nigga,
Guess where all the sugar's made? In Brazil. Stolen. In the Caribbean. And it's so goddamn profitable, you might forget to not do slavery. The next thing on Russia's to-do list is to get bigger. Britain and France are having a friendly discussion about who should control the entire world, more specifically Ohio. Then it escalates into a 7-year discussion, giving Prussia a chance to show Austria who's boss. But what about Britain and France? Did they figure out who's boss? Yes, they did. It's Britain. Guess who's broke? Also Britain. So they start taxing the hell out of America. Fuck you, says America, declaring their independence and fighting for it. And France helps them win. Now France is broke. And Britain will have to send their prisoners to a different continent. Wait, if France is broke, why do the king and queen still wear such fancy dresses? Let's overthrow the palace and cut all their heads off, said Robespierre, cutting everybody's head off until someone eventually got mad and cut his head off. You could make a religion.
He got his head cut off.
Haiti is starting to like the idea of a revolution, especially the slaves, who free themselves by killing their masters. Why didn't we think of this before? Wait, who's in charge of France now? Said Napoleon, trying to take over Europe. Luckily, they banished him to an island.
But he came back.
Luckily, they banished him to another island. There goes Latin America, becoming independent in the Latin American Wars of Independence. Britain just figured out how to turn steam into power, so now they can make
many different types of machines and factories with machines in them, so they can make a lot of products real fast.
Then they invent some trains and conquer India and maybe put some trains there. Hey, China, said Britain, buy stuff from us.
They tickled my bones.
So Britain tried to get them addicted to opium, which worked actually. But then China made it illegal and dumped it all into the sea. So Britain threw a hissy fit and made them open up 5 cities and give them an island.
Opium
Britain and Russia are playing a game where they try to stop each other from conquering Afghanistan. Also, the
Sultan of Oman lives in Zanzibar now.
That's just where he lives. India just had a revolution, and they would like to govern themselves now. Nope, said Britain, governing them even harder than before.
Damn. I just sent you a message through
Technology is about to go crazy.
The United States finally figured out whether slavery is good or bad. It's bad, they decided.
Yeah.
And then they continued manifesting their destiny,
Kinda
which is to
bad, I ain't
kill the
gonna
rest of
lie.
the natives and take their land and maybe kick out the Mexicans too.
Wow.
I know, let's rape Africa, said Europe, scrambling to see who could rape it the fastest. They never got Ethiopia. Britain and France are still hungry. They never got Thailand. The United States ran out of destiny to manifest, so they're looking for more.
Hawaii, Cuba.
Wait, Spain controls Cuba. Well, blame something on them and go to war. What should we blame on Spain? Let's blame the Maine on Spain. So they blame the Maine on Spain. Now we're in business. To celebrate, they kick Panama out of Panama and make
Wait, what?
Spain controls Cuba. Well, blame something on them and go to war. What should we blame on Spain? Let's blame the Maine on Spain. So they blame the
Destruction of the warship Maine was the work of an enemy.
Maine on Spain.
But this
Now
was
we're
a
in business.
lie?
To celebrate, they kick Panama out of Panama and make a canal, connecting the 2 oceans. Britain just found oil in the Middle East. It makes cars go. China is so tired of being bossed around that they delete their old government and make a new, stronger government, which is accidentally weaker and controlled by a guy from the previous government. Europe hasn't had a war since the last war, so they start World War I. Look at those guns. It's going to be a great war. So great we won't need a second one. After it's over, they blame Germany. Russia went on strike and the workers overthrew the government. Now everyone's paycheck is the same.
Communism in the Soviet Union.
The Arabs revolt and Britain helps. Now the Ottoman Empire's gone, so we can give the
Jewish people a place to live.
Hopefully the Arabs won't mind. Let's cut the cake, said Sykes and Picot, carving up the remains of the not-so-Ottoman-anymore empire.
Except Turkey. Turkey makes a brand new turkey.
And then the Saudis conquer Arabia. It just seemed like the right thing to do. Hello? Yes, it's the 1920s calling. Let's get in the car and drive to a party and listen to jazz on the radio and go to the movies. The economy's great and it'll probably be great forever. Just kidding. Germany's back featuring Hitler, the angry mustache model. And he's mad at the Jews for existing.
I know that
Japan is
guy.
finally conquering the East, and they're so excited they raped Nanking way too hard. They should probably just deny it. Hitler's out of control, so the international community tackles him and tries to explain why killing all the Jews is a bad idea. But he kills himself before they could explain it to him.
That's
Did he though?
World War II.
Bonus round, Pacific Showdown. United States versus Japan. Fight. Finish him. Let's unite all the nations and have some
World peace.
Seems legit. Hi, I'm Gandhi, and if Britain doesn't get the hell out of India, I'm going to starve myself in public. Wow, that worked. Bonus, now there's Pakistan. Actually, 2 Pakistans. One of them could be Bangladesh later. The Jews and the Arabs finally figured out which one of them should live in the
Wait,
Holy
is that
Land.
what Gandhi
Me, they both
actually
said at the
did?
same time. Let's divide up the land so everyone's happy.
Psych, they both get angrier.
Look out, China. There's a new China in China. What's on the menu? Communism. No thanks, said the other China, escaping to an island. I wonder which one is the real China. There's the Korean War, Korea versus Korea. Nobody wins, then it's on pause forever. Let's meet the sponsors. Oh, it's the 2 global superpowers. They're having a friendly debate over which economic system is good and which one is an evil virus of Satan. And they both have atom bombs. Fight! Wait, no, that would be the end of the world. Let's just keep it cool and spy on each other instead. And make sure we have enough atom bombs. I'll race you to space. Now let's make some more countries fight themselves. Europe is tired of pillaging other continents, and the continents they were pillaging are tired of being pillaged. So here's a new map with new countries. Now you can't tell who they're being pillaged by. The United States finally decided whether racism is good or bad. They decided it's bad, and the world agrees. South Africa might need another minute to think about it. Let's check the world population. Whoa. Okay. Technology's better too, that might keep happening. The Soviet Union decides to relax a little and accidentally falls apart. Europe makes a union, so now they can all use the same money, except Britain because they don't feel like it. Let's check the mail. Surprise, it's on the computer. Whoops, someone just attacked America. I bet they'll remember that. Phone call. Surprise, it's in your pocket. Want to learn everything? Surprise, it's on the computer. Now your phone's a computer, which is in your pocket. Whoops, the economy just crashed. Don't worry, the big banks won't fail because they're not supposed to. Surprise, flying robots. With bombs. Want to print a brain? Some people have no friends. Some people have no food. The globe is warming.
And the ocean is full of plastic.
Let's save the planet, said everybody, not knowing how. Let's invent a thing inventor, said the thing inventor after being invented by a thing inventor. That's pretty cool. By the way, where the hell are we?
Nigga is trying to liquefy my brain. What do you... No! That was that was too much. Nah. It was incredible the way he explained everything. But bro. First of all, can we just admit that the singing is fire? Like, the jingles is actually fire, bro. The amount of information he just tried to jam into my brain, I only got a fraction of that. I'm not even gonna hold y'all, bro. But it is fascinating to see how we've expanded so greatly. The route Christopher Columbus, in hindsight, seems kind of dumb, but like, it doesn't surprise me that the US lied to its people in order to create a opportunity. You know what I'm saying? But okay, the amount of information in here indicates that this man put an incredible amount of work into this, bro. And all the singing and jingles, it's fire. It really is, though. Like, my dog began a video talking about everything is nowhere and nowhere is where everything is at. Like, are you trying to hurt people? Like, what are you doing? Like, why would you? I like these titles. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like them.
You live on Earth. It's got a lot of cool stuff in it, but why is it there? The Bible has a story to tell. In the beginning, before there was anything, before there was anywhere, before there was any when, there was God, who is everywhere and every when. He is isness itself, and he has everything, so he doesn't even need to create the world. But God still created the world.
Yeah.
Wait, no, it didn't look like that at first. It was more formless and void and very dark. But God let there be light, so now there's light. And this light stuff is pretty good, so God separated it from the darkness. And we should give these things names. Good news, the water below is now separated from the water above. Even more good news, now there's dry land. And guess what? Now there's life, just plants for now. But the plants might have cleaned up the air, so now you can see the sun, moon, and stars. That's going to be very useful. There's animals in the water. There's animals in the air. There's animals on the land. And now it's time for God's coolest creation so far. God made a human person called Adam and gave him an awesome garden, but he was still lonely, so God gave him a wife. These two kinds of humans are made out of the same stuff, but also different so they can have a relationship. God gave them a lot of trees, but two big important ones. They're allowed to eat from this one, because if they do, they're going to live forever. But God told them not to eat from this one, because if they do, they die. Seems like a pretty obvious choice, right? Actually, said some snake who's actually the devil, God doesn't want you to eat from this tree because you're going to become like him, and he doesn't want you to get too powerful. Okay, said Eve. Okay, said Adam. So they ate from the tree, and just like that, humanity had failed God's requirements for them. They lost access to the tree of life, which means they're going to end up dying. Humanity had sided with Satan over God, losing all rights to the life that God gave them. So nobody could blame God if he ended humanity right then and there. But God didn't do that. God promised one day Satan would be destroyed by one of their kids. But Adam and Eve already sinned, so let's see if their kids can do any better. Cain is mad at his brother Abel because Abel's better at having faith in God. God tells Cain he needs to resist sin, and Cain kills his brother. Why'd he do that? Well, you see, the problem of Adam's sin was passed down to Cain because the problem affects all of humanity. So as humans multiply, sin and evil multiply. Enough of this. God chooses the least evil guy, a guy named Noah. He's still a sinner, but he has faith in God, so he's a relatively decent guy compared to everyone else. God tells him to build a boat for him and his family. And everyone laughs at them until God makes a huge flood that kills everyone. It was hard. But once the flood passes, God makes the rainbow the sign of his covenant. Remember that promise that Satan's going to be destroyed? God adds to it, saying he's not going to destroy the world again until then. Because now people are going to have some basic decency.
I ain't never seen nothing like that.
God's not fixing the world yet, but he's making it a stable enough place so that he can do that in the future. So now people are not quite as evil as they were before. They're good enough that they can work together in society, but evil enough that they're going to use that to build a huge tower up to God out of their own pride. And evil people are dangerous when they're given too much power.
True.
So God makes the whole tower thing fail by dividing everyone's language. So maintenant, le monde ne peut pas travailler ensemble. So now people are divided into different nations, and these nations each have their own gods. But wouldn't it be cool if there was one nation specifically devoted to the one true God? So God chose Abraham to be the father of his people, and God updated the covenant saying that God's going to make a nation that he's going to use to fix the world. God promised Abraham he's going to have as many kids as the stars in the sky. And Abraham was like, how's that going to be possible? My wife is super old.
Damn,
but Abraham
bro.
still had faith in God's covenant. So does that mean he's the chosen one who's going to defeat Satan? Well, sadly no, because Abraham still sinned by telling the king that his wife was really his sister.
Dang.
But they do have kids. This one struggled with God, so he got the name Israel, which means struggled with God. And his children are going to become the 12 tribes of Israel. He struggled with God because sin is still a problem. If you think your family is bad, this one was so dysfunctional that they sent Joseph to slavery in Egypt. But while he was there, God gave him the ability to protect Egypt from starving to death. So now Egypt loves Joseph, and in a great act of forgiveness, Joseph invited the rest of his family back to live with him in Egypt. So God was glorified through his people by turning a bad thing into a good thing. At first, Egypt likes the Israelites, but when they multiply a lot, Egypt stops liking them and enslaves them instead. Moses is one of the Israelites, and when he sees an Egyptian beating another Israelite, he kills the Egyptian. Come on, Israelites, let's rise up. So you're gonna get us in trouble.
Oh, no.
So Moses has to flee Egypt, and he moves to the middle of nowhere, joins a sheep farm, gets married, and lives happily ever after.
What?
But one day, God appears to Moses in a burning bush, saying it's finally time for the Israelites to have that land God promised
Wait, he
them.
got married
So God
first?
tells Moses to tell the leader of Egypt to let his people go. So Moses goes back to Egypt and tells Pharaoh, let my people go. No. But God
Damn.
gives Moses the ability to cause plagues in Egypt. Let my people go, or the river turns to blood. No. Or you get frogs everywhere. No.
No.
Gnats. No. Flies. No.
No.
Dead livestock. No. Boils. No. Hail. No. Locusts. No. Darkness. No. Let us go, or your firstborn sons will die.
Oh,
no.
he
But then the
still said
firstborn
no.
sons
I
die, so
forgot
Pharaoh's
he
like,
did.
okay, fine, you can leave. So the Israelites set out for the promised land, but when they're about halfway there, Egypt changes its mind and sends the army after them to bring them back. They corner them by the
I
Red Sea.
remember this.
We've
I
got you
remember
surrounded.
this.
Oh yeah, says Moses. Watch this.
Parts
so the waters
then.
of the Red
What?
Sea part. The Israelites
The Bible
escape,
is
but when the
fire,
Egyptians
I
try
ain't
to
gonna
follow
lie.
them, they unpart and they let them. On their journey, they take a rest stop at Mount Sinai so God can give them the law for when they live in the Promised Land. Moses will go up to the top of the mountain to receive the law, so he says, don't worship any false gods while I'm gone.
They definitely did do that.
Bro, I'm bored. Let's worship some false gods. So they make a golden calf and worship it. Meanwhile, on the top of the mountain, the presence of God descends upon the mountain, and Moses receives the law on stone tablets, including the 10 Commandments. But when
Word.
Moses goes back down and sees the Israelites worshiping a false god,
Niggas
he
is
gets so
tripping.
mad he smashes the stone tablets. So he goes back up the mountain and gets new stone tablets. And God adds to the covenant, saying he's going to give the people
God
a
couldn't
law
have
in
made
the
the
land
tablets
if
a
they're
little bit
faithful to the
stronger.
covenant.
Like,
So let's see how faithful they're going to be. The people are approaching the
I mean,
promised
it's
land.
coming from
but the
God,
evil
like-
Canaanites already live there. They have strong fortresses and big, scary soldiers, and the Israelites are going to have to fight them to take over the land. Come on, guys, be brave. God's going to be with you? No, we're too afraid. So the Israelites turn away, they don't invade the land, which means they did not have faith in God's covenant. So their punishment is they have to wander around the
yeah,
Sinai
for 40
desert
years, which is
But what about Moses? He
crazy.
didn't do anything wrong, so maybe he's the chosen one who's going to defeat Satan? Well, no, Moses still sinned by doing a miracle the wrong way, so his punishment is he's going to die before he gets to enter the promised land.
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
the next generation of Israelites, led by Joshua,
Ain't
does
gonna
enter the
lie,
land, uses
Old
trumpets to
Testament
smash
God?
the city of Jericho, and drives out the rest of the Canaanites. Cool, now we finally have our land, but who's going to rule us? So God appoints judges to rule over the people and defend them from the enemy nations. Because during this time, there's a pattern that goes something like this. There's peace in the land, but then people get lazy and forget about God, so God lets their enemies conquer them, but then people turn back to God, so God strengthens them to reconquer their land, and
There's peace in the land.
This pattern repeats many, many times with many, many different judges, and people are starting to get sick of it. Bro, why can't we just have a king? Trust me, you don't want a king, says Samuel. Come on, everyone else has a king. Okay, fine, says Samuel, but the king's gonna be oppressive.
So
So
Samuel,
Samuel anoints Saul as king, and sure enough, Saul is an oppressive ruler. You know who would be a better ruler? This young kid, David. He's just a shepherd and a string player, so no one takes him seriously.
King
But one day, a
David!
huge, scary caveman warrior Goliath shows up
Goliath!
to fight the Israelites. Okay, guys, who wants to fight Goliath?
my dog David had one of them slingers,
I'll do it,
slingshots.
says David. So David takes out his slingshot, hits Goliath in the head with a rock, and
Like
kills
a crazy
him.
man.
So now
like,
David's a hero, and everyone loves David, and Saul is getting pretty jealous of David.
yeah, he wants to
Especially
kill
because
him.
all the girls are chanting, Saul has slain his thousands.
But
and
David has-
his tens of thousands.
Oh, me.
So Saul wants to kill David. So David flees, and Saul pursues him. But one day, David gets a golden opportunity to kill Saul while he's using the bathroom, but he doesn't.
David's best
so Saul
friend.
forgives David.
It's
but one day, Saul
Jonathan.
dies to avoid being captured, so David becomes the next king. This is awesome. It starts out really well, and David
So
gains
cool.
a lot of victories for
That's
his
my
kingdom.
name. That's why I'm
Maybe
excited.
He's the chosen one that's going to defeat Satan. Except no. David sins because he
Yeah,
likes this one
he's
woman, so he has her husband killed in
Bathsheba.
battle so he can steal her. So God makes everything go downhill for David after that.
Yep.
But God still promises that one of David's descendants will be the king that he couldn't be. Have a
Solomon?
kingdom that covers the entire world and lasts forever. So let's add this to the covenant. Maybe David's son Solomon can do it. He's off to a great start, asking
So
God for
wise.
wisdom and then writing down a bunch of wise sayings.
And
which
he made
impresses
that
all the
temple
kings and
that was
queens of the earth who
like-
want to learn from Solomon. And furthermore, Solomon builds a huge, beautiful temple to glorify
Bro,
God.
I'm
so
gonna
right
know,
now, his
like,
kingdom is a shining.
I
beacon of
literally
light
had to
the
write
world,
Bible
and God
verses
is
after
glorified
school
through
every
his
day.
people.
Like,
So maybe Solomon's that future king who's going to rule the entire world. Except no, Solomon sins by having a bunch of wives and mistresses, some of whom are not Israelite, so Solomon ends up worshipping foreign gods.
I mean-
and then everything goes downhill for Solomon as well. And after this, things kind of went downhill for the kingdom as a whole because people kept sinning more.
Facts.
The kingdom split into Israel and Judah, and both kingdoms got evil kings who worshipped pagan gods. But it's not like everything was bad during this time period, because a lot of great prophets arose who encouraged people to turn back to God.
I
And
remember
even when
Elijah.
the temple was literally being used as a place of demon worship, God never told the prophets to abandon the temple, but instead to restore, revive, and retake the temple. And there were actually some good kings who listened to them and reformed the temple, encouraging people to remember God's covenant. But even with all this, eventually Israel was eaten by Assyria, Judah was eaten by Babylon, they smashed the temple, and the Israelites were carried off to exile.
Daniel.
Eventually, Persia got a nice king who let the Israelites go back to their land, and
Wait.
even gave them money to rebuild their temple. Maybe now it's finally time for that eternal kingdom.
Am I
So they're
tripping?
rebuilding the temple. Yo, this is gonna be so great!
Yo, that's what they were saying. Damn.
I don't know, man. It's just not like it was before.
It like, yeah.
They were kind of disappointed that it wasn't time for the eternal kingdom yet, but they still had faith in God's covenant that was going to happen eventually. And the prophets started focusing a lot on this future king, giving him names like Messiah or the Son of Man. Daniel said that this kingdom would outlast all the other kingdoms.
Right.
Micah said this king would be born in Bethlehem.
Shed
Isaiah
back.
said this
Shed,
king would suffer
Daniel.
for the sins of his people.
Share.
And Zechariah said God will send God to live with us. Does
like
that mean
Daniel
this
and his
king
three
is gonna be
friends.
God? Everyone's wondering about this Messiah. When is he going to come, and who is he going to be? An
Intermission.
Israelite woman named Mary sees an angel who says she's going to have a baby. The baby's going to be a king, just like his ancestor David, and his kingdom is never going to end. Bruh, I'm literally a virgin.
I'm about to say.
That's okay, the Holy Spirit will give you a baby, so your
Well-
baby is literally going to be the Son of God.
So,
Alright, so Mary gives birth to Jesus in a manger in Bethlehem.
Does that mean she's
and
not a
calls him
virgin
Emmanuel,
anymore,
which
or is
means
still-
God with us?
or
I
is
think
still.
there was a
I don't
prophecy
know,
about
bro,
that.
like,
And 3 wise men show up to the party because of a star that they saw.
they get
Hi,
frunk
is this where the king
candles
was born? We
and
have
some
presents for him.
some other
But
random
then
stuff.
Herod heard that a great king was just born in Bethlehem. King of Israel, you say? I'm the only king around here.
Nah,
I think
bruh.
there was a prophecy about this. So King Herod got really jealous and ordered people to go to Bethlehem to kill this new baby.
But nobody
king.
killing this
So Mary
baby,
and her
bro.
husband Joseph had to flee Bethlehem and go to Egypt until it was safe to come back. I think there was a prophecy about this. When
of
Jesus
Egypt?
grows up, his first miracle is actually making wine for a party because his mom told him to. But his real ministry doesn't start until he's baptized by John the Baptist. John the Baptist is a guy in the wilderness who baptizes people and tells them to turn back to God. I think there was a prophecy about this. But when Jesus is baptized,
I ain't
God
gonna lie,
declares
that makes him
Jesus
sound
is his
crazy.
son and sends the Holy
Some
Spirit
random
upon
nigga in the wilderness just drowning
Right after
people
that,
like
Jesus went
temporarily.
to the desert and ate nothing for 40 days. And that's when Satan tried to tempt Jesus to
40
sin,
days?
but he didn't sin. Up until now, John the Baptist was preaching about the kingdom
thought it
of
was
God,
30.
But then he went to jail, so Jesus takes over, which makes sense because he's actually the king. So what's the kingdom of God like? Jesus said the kingdom of God brings liberation to the oppressed and is good news for poor people, not just rich people. That those who are poor and sad now are going to inherit the entire world, and that this kingdom is the fulfillment of everything God promised. But he doesn't just tell people what the kingdom of God is, he shows them by casting out demons, healing the sick, and forgiving people's sins.
Oh, me,
He's
bro.
going on tour through
But
all
I'll
the
grab
towns
some
in the
mud,
land,
bro, wiped
doing
it
all
on the
sorts of
blind man's
miracles, and
face.
everyone is amazed. except for people from his hometown, because it's embarrassing that they knew him as a kid. Jesus chose 12 helpers, and more people became his followers.
Which one is Judas Iscariot?
But some people who did not love him were the Pharisees. They were obsessed with following all the rules, hoping to impress God so he would give back their kingdom. Because right now the Israelites, or I guess now they're called Jews, were living under the Roman Empire, which was run by Gentiles, which are people who are not Jewish people. The Pharisees were hoping to bring back the kingdom of Israel, but Jesus' kingdom seemed to be about something different. They didn't like how Jesus hung out with sinners, forgave other people's sins, welcomed Gentiles, told them to pay taxes to Rome, and challenged their authority. So they thought Jesus was not the real Messiah.
Ah, bro, that's just a real nigga right there.
Mountain, Jesus was transfigured in front of other people, and Moses and Elijah, big important people from the Old Testament, appeared next to him. So that made the Pharisees look really stupid.
That happened?
So when Jesus entered Jerusalem, the most important city where the
I don't remember
temple was,
that.
he was greeted like a king with people waving palm tree branches.
Oh,
and people were even worshiping Jesus, which made the Pharisees really mad.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you're only supposed to worship God. So if Jesus is accepting worship, either he's God or he's blaspheming. And I think you know which one the Pharisees went with.
They definitely chose the
So they
second
plotted
one.
to kill Jesus. Jesus was predicting this, so he summoned all his disciples for one last supper. He took bread and wine, saying the bread was his body and the wine was his blood.
When did
and
he
we should do
wash the
this in
feet of the
remembrance
disciples?
him. And he made a new covenant promising forgiveness of sins. And he said that one of the disciples would betray him.
Yep.
Sure enough, this one betrayed Jesus by helping people arrest him.
Judas
He did it because
Iscariot.
he was paid to. Some of the other disciples tried to fight back, but Jesus told them not to
He
do
hung
that
himself.
because this all needs to happen. Jesus was handed over to the Roman soldiers led by Pontius Pilate, who killed him by
SPQR.
hanging him on a cross. If you're wondering how painful crucifixion is, it's where we get the word excruciating from. Once Jesus died, there was darkness, and one of the soldiers was
Wow.
like, guys, I think we just crucified the Son of God. I think there was a prophecy about this.
Imagine like
So
being
Jesus
that
totally could
person.
have stopped this from happening, so why didn't he? Well, you may remember, everything kept failing because people kept sinning. Jesus was the only one who didn't sin, so he made a sacrifice for sin to solve the problem of sin. And people realized Jesus was indeed the Messiah, or the Christ. Jesus was buried in a tomb. On the third day, some women came to visit the tomb and found the tomb empty.
My
Then
dog
Jesus
walked
appeared
out.
alive to the women. Then Jesus appeared alive to the disciples.
With the
Thomas had
scars on
doubts
his
at first,
wrist.
but then
Letting
he
you know
believed
I'm
and
the real
realized
deal.
Jesus was God. So they all worshiped Jesus because they realized Jesus was the chosen one who defeated Satan.
I mean-
He defeated Satan by defeating death when he rose from the dead. And Jesus ate a fish to prove that his resurrection was physical. Then Jesus gave them the ultimate Bible study, explaining how all the scriptures were about him. He was doing this to train them to build the church. Hold up, why do we have to do this? Isn't Jesus going to start his kingdom now? Well, Jesus said it wasn't for them to know when that was going to happen, but for now,
Yeah.
the church is the kingdom. And he commanded them to baptize people all over the world and convert all the nations.
Then he did.
And with that, Jesus ascended into heaven, but he promised he would come back one day. And in the meantime, he sent the Holy Spirit to empower them to build the church. So now Jesus is in heaven, but it's not like he's gone. He's ruling over his kingdom from heaven through the church. And when he comes back, he's going to bring heaven down to earth to redeem it. You know how Jesus rose from the dead? He's going to raise everyone from the dead on Judgment Day. He's going to throw Satan into hell finally, and he's even going to throw death into hell so death won't exist anymore, and we can finally eat from the tree of life and live in a perfect world forever. So why does everything exist? It all exists for Jesus and for his kingdom. He's going to conquer everything and make all bad things good. The question is, do you want to be a part of that?
No. The question is, do you believe in that? You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, here's my thing, right? I believe in God. I feel like these types of discussions encourage conversations that I truly enjoy. The Bible was written by men, and humans seem to have a want to be saved. We want to be able to do bad stuff, but also still end up somewhere good in the end, because death is so scary to us that we don't want to believe in the fact that death may be permanent. And I don't blame folks for that, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to believe that after I die there's nothing. I'm not scared of dying, I'm just scared of going nowhere after I die. I kind of knew a lot of that because my dad's a pastor. I was raised in the church, bro. I know so much about the Bible, it's kind of crazy. Bro, if they could make a good movie out of the Bible, it would hit. I ain't gonna lie to you, it would hit, bro. I know we finished history of the entire world, but I just want to say, like, that nothing is nowhere line, crazy to me, bro. Because think about it, like, if nothing is nowhere, where are we? Like, everything was moving way too quickly. But But what this has shown me is certain time periods that I would very much like to dive into. So I'm going to rewatch this again on my own time off camera, and I'm going to pick certain time periods that really interest me, and we're going to dive into that because I don't know nothing, bro. Enough of me. No, seriously, enough of me. It's been your boy Chop Louie. Good day, good afternoon, good night, good evening, good morning, and most importantly, but unfortunately,
it's the end. Leave a like and share it to your friends and your kin. When I post a video, I'm gonna need y'all to attend. Thank you for the view, but I ain't done with you. 2023, I'm about to be Jordan with the flu. Yeah, join the tribe. Yeah, join the tribe. I'm gonna need y'all to subscribe.